Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Praise be to Allah that you made it on this afternoon to our 99 names of Allah in 30 days. Today, brothers and sisters, and for the rest of the month of Ramadan, inshallah, we want to go over the most beautiful names, as the Holy Quran says, of Almighty God Allah. Well, Allah says in the Quran, Allah, there is no God except He. To Him are the most beautiful names. And brothers and sisters, a good name, a good example of this are the 99 attributes of or the names of Allah found in Islam. The 99 characteristics of Allah God reflect the most noblest of qualities and abilities. They represent the perfect ideal for human beings to inspire to. Our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, is reported to have said, the only thing in Islam that should be cultivated are the attributes of Allah. And our beloved minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, tweeted, when you have an attribute of God, you should strive for degrees of excellence in that attribute. So for the next 30 days, inshallah, 28 days now, this is our second day, we desire to go over the 99 attributes and look at their usage in this time that we're in, and also how do we cultivate and develop degrees of excellence in that attribute. So today we have with us our Southwest Student Regional Minister of the Honorable Minister with Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, our beloved brother, Dr. Abdul Haleem Muhammad, and he has 3 attributes to us. So at this time, I turn it over to him. Brother Doctor.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, I bear witness there's no God but Allah. He appeared to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. I thank him for raising up the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and both of them leaving in our midst our brother, servant, and friend, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. My beloved brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.
And I'd like to, if I can, share my screen. Allow me to. So as the host, if you allow me to share my screen, I'll just go right into it. Because as we approach Maghrib, y'all get a little antsy. Oh, praise due to Allah. Okay.
You should be able to share now.
Okay. So I want to share the divine attributes of Allah, and those that I've been assigned, or I chose and been assigned, is Al-Haleem, which stands for the kindly, the forbearing, Al-Khaaliq, which is the creator, and Al-Salaam, which is the peace. So the key questions that Brother Student Minister Eric asked for us to delve in, and I'm trying not to be long and windy on all of these, is what is the meaning of each attribute? How does one strive for degrees of excellence in each attribute? And what is the value of each attribute in establishing the government of Islam? So what is the meaning of my own name? Al-Haleem means the most bearing, the most forbearing. So when we use these attributes of Allah, they are the superlative degree, meaning the most, the highest. My name is Abdul Haleem. I'm a servant of the most forbearing. So there's synonyms for them to make it simple. Is, to be forbearing is to be long-suffering, patient, stoic, tolerant, uncomplaining. Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, when he gave me the name, he said to me, brother, you've been with me a long time. He said, you've been through a lot. I said, yes, sir, brother. He said, I'll give you my name. And that is Haleem. He said, it's forbearing. It is that attribute of Allah, brothers and sisters, that when you and I violate or fall victim, not victim of the law, but when we fall outside of God's law, there are times where he could absolutely punish us. But he's forbearing because this word, Haleem, actually has maternal qualities to it. It's like a mother who, when he sees a child that's 2 years old doing something, does not react to that child at 2 years old as you would to say someone who is 15 or 20 years old, because you understand that level of development of that child. But long suffering, patient, stoic, tolerant, uncomplaining, in so much as looking at us as we develop, as we grow. And sometimes I think about the world, the Muslim world, as it looked at us, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to pray, to make dua, to pray like that. And people, oh, that's not Islam. You're not the real Muslim. You're supposed to pray. Yeah, okay. But here you got some Negroes that been in slavery for 310 years and under Jim Crow for 120 years, eating pork from the rooter to the tutor, smoking, drinking, gambling, prostitute, you name it. We're doing all of that, worshiping a white Jesus, all of that. And you get these people to stop doing all of that and to turn to the East and to say the name of Allah, which we thought was a heathen name, especially when it was introduced to us, because of the way it was introduced to us, and they made sure that we were not Muslims. So this tolerance, being long-suffering, is something that Allah, over these 90 years, had looked at us as a nation, and he has been long-suffering, and he's been patient, and he's been stoic, and he's been tolerant of us and the progress that we've made, knowing the forces that we're up against and what was done to us. And now you look at our children as they're coming along, and as those who put on the program, the Ramadan rally, and these 99 attributes, and then the film that we're going to debut on the 16th. You look at these great things that we're doing, and this is, again, goes to those other questions of striving for degrees of excellence. And what is the value in establishing the government of Islam? We're going to have to be forbearing. We're going to have to be patient, because we have not really, in truth, been in charge of our world for quite a while. Because one people can't rule while the other is awake. There would be a clash. So, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, old world going out, new world coming in. And as the minister pointed out, that he was glad and happy to announce the end of Satan's world. So as one world's coming out, one world's coming in, but we have to be patient. We have to be forbearing. We have to be long suffering to bring this new nation, this new kingdom into existence. So let me go into, in the Holy Quran, you will find this, and I meant to mark it out, but here at the end, I don't know, can they see the arrow, Brother Eric? You see the arrow? You see the arrow, okay.
Yes,
so
Yes, sir.
Huh?
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, you see it. So Haleem. So when you look at Haleem, it's here in Haleem, but this is the Sahih International. There's no blame upon you for that which you indirectly allude concerning a proposal to women for what you conceal within yourselves. It's from the second surah. And it goes on to say, Allah knows what that you will have them in mind, but do not promise them secretly except for saying a proper saying, and do not determine to undertake a marriage contract until the decree reaches its end, and know that Allah knows what is within yourself. So be aware of him and know that Allah is forgiving and forbearing. So this is an adjective describing Allah as being forgiving and forbearing. Let me see. I had it in my notes. I think it's 235.
It is. It's 235.
Yeah, 2 and 235. Thank you, brother minister. I'm falling, as I told you all, I had a goal in Ramadan. My intention, my niyyah in Ramadan was unity of the Muslim community. But also my niyyah, my intention is to go back to school, go back to Arabic school, and to learn what I did. I played hooky for a few years, and I got to go back in there I won't attempt to use my my Manhattan Arabic, but I am falling deeper and deeper in love with the language because of it's so beautiful and has so many shades of meaning. I mean, it'll blow your mind. So anyway, so when you look at this word Haleem, as it is listed out there, Halimu, meaning most forbearing, right, as an adjective. But the trilateral root, again, the three letters that this word is drawn from is ha, lam, meen. Ha, lam, meen is what is drawn from. And that's what gets you to the root of it. But when you go to the root of these words and you find them, the utilization of them throughout the Quran, Quranic Arabic, it'll blow your mind how many different variations of it. And just, oh, anyway, it blew my mind. I'll put it like that. So, for instance, you have most forbearing, all forbearing, and then in one case here, as Brother Eric has pointed out on several occasions, you got forbearing. You got forbearing. It's more like, well, forbearing. Something could be anybody. I could be forbearing. You could be forbearing. But in these other cases, you have a superlative degrees referring to the God Himself. But you got forbearing. That could be you and me. But that's what I mean by you can look in it, and it's so rich and it has different shades of meaning just depending on what you and I are reading and its context. So, what is the meaning of Al-Khaaliq, which is creator? A synonym for creator is author, establisher, father, founder, founding father, generator, inaugurator, initiator, institutor, or institutor, or originator, or sire. These are synonyms. I'm just using synonyms instead of trying to really dig down deep in it. But you get the idea of what a creator is and how, excuse me, and how to cultivate these in order to create our own nation. I'll go back to the last question and kind of fold it into this question. You have to cultivate excellence in this attribute. We've got to be creative because in truth, brothers and sisters, we are what eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has it entered in the hearts of man. We have to make ourselves instruments of Allah's will.
Right.
So by cleaning up how to live, submitting, He will give us ideas that we've never seen before. People say, where'd you get that from? I don't know. But I think this is how we solve the problem. It is out of pain, Minister Farrakhan teaches us, and in terms of our suffering, and out of pain that that creation comes out, creative forces come out. Things that we would never be able to contemplate come out oftentimes of our pain and suffering. This is why we are very creative people. We have done more than survive. We've thrived under the worst conditions that you can think of, not total freedom, justice, and equality, but our creativity in any arena you put us in is from this creator. He is the creator and he is the establisher, those things. So let me go to the Arabic. Once again, 13 and 16. And it says, who is the Lord of the heavens and earth? Say Allah. Say, have you then taken besides him allies not possessing even for themselves any benefit, any harm? Say, is the blind equivalent to the seeing, or is darkness equivalent to light? Or have they attributed to Allah partners who created like his creation, so that the creation of each seems similar to them? Say, Allah is the creator of all things, and he is the one, the prevailing. So when we find that Khaliqu is the creator, right? The 40th, in this verse, we find that the trilateral root again is Kha, Lam, Kaf. Kha, Lam, Kaf. That's the trilateral root of this word Khaliq. But look at all, again, once again, you'll find it throughout the Quran. And if anybody wants to share just to look at this, but we can tell you where the website where this comes from. But I'm falling so deeply in love with the Arabic. I got to be careful as I'm trying to do my reading, because I find myself going over to the right-hand side of that page. And instead of something taking me 45 minutes or 30 minutes, it could take me 2 hours, because I find myself, oh, this word here. And I start looking up stuff, and I need to be more disciplined as we go forward. It's like almost like looking at the footnotes. But as you see in the Surah 13, verse 16, Khaliqu, Khaliqu is the creator. You find it in this verse, and in these other verses, you find the word creator, but it's not the creator. It's not this way. It's the, and then you find creators, lowercase, but it's not the creators in plural, but in terms of the superlative degree, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, brother. It's you and me and whoever else is on here. I got 11 participants. Praise be to Allah. All right. So what does it mean in Al-Salaam? This one is a mind blower. I dealt with this today in our lecture today when I looked up this word, salam. What's a Muslim? Salam, Islam, where it comes from. When you go to this concordance, this Islamic concordance, if you will, word for word, and you start looking up the root, the trilateral root of this word, it has so many different meanings. But in this particular case, we're talking about the peace. So synonyms for peace, and this was a difficult one to even find a synonym for. Really, you had to look for the different shades of meaning, even among the synonyms. Calm, calmness, hush, peacefulness, placidity, quietness, quietude, repose, restfulness, sereneness, serenity, stillness, tranquility. I looked at it, I said, man, yeah, but no. English is so inadequate to describe this attribute, As-Salaam, of the God. And to prove it, instead of me just having that one verse, that one translation I had of, like the Sahih International, I went and I pulled all the other ones. And look how they translate As-Salaam, the perfection, peace, the source of peace and perfection, the giver of peace, the peace. So this is why we got to fall in love with our original language and not even treat it like it's something foreign. It's not. It's our original language. Because if we submit ourselves to these people, what is his point of view that would make him put it the perfection instead of the peace? What makes him say peace, not the peace? What makes him say the source of peace, and then he has to put in parentheses and perfection? The giver of peace, the peace. Why does he say the peace and he says peace? So what is the mindset of these folk, and are they looking at it from our perspective, our point of view, being that we are the son of Islam rising in the West, S-U-N. Okay, so what is the meaning of As-Salaam? Again, Salamu, the giver of peace, in Surah 59, verse 23. Again, it comes from the trilateral root, sin, lam, mim. Sin, lam, mim, trilateral root. Now, with them other ones, I just gave you a little snippet. So it's used as an adjective, as the giver of peace, but also, and I didn't want to list all of them because I don't want y'all falling asleep. But brother and sister, when you look up this trilateral root of the word, sin, lam, mim, you will find Muslim, Islam, submission, surrender, sound. You'll find all kind of words, man. I mean, it's like mind-blowing. And I said to myself, oh my God, how limited English is, and how dynamic and living Arabic is, and expressive. And it's all its degrees and levels and longitude and latitude, brothers and sisters. So let me
Excellent.
close this out um, by simply going back again to these questions. You know, I gave you the meaning of these attributes the best I could in English, kind of the best I could. In truth, it really is unfortunate that we have been so robbed of our original tongue that we're so limited. And that's why a lot of times we talk with our hands because it's so hard to express what God has put in us because we're the first ones under the sun. But how does one strive for degrees of excellence in each of these attributes? Again, we have to be, and Ramadan should be teaching us this, to be forbearing, to be tolerant during this time. And we stay away from drama, we stay away from arguments, we stay away from that which would disturb us. Creative. What I saw yesterday in our Ramadan rally was the creativity of the believers when they're given the freedom to express what God has put in them. I had a good time yesterday. I don't know about y'all. I had a good time yesterday. And lastly, Al-Salaam, the peace, the perfection. It really boils down to security. Because in one sense, peace is the absence of war, the absence of conflict. So when we're perfected in our thinking, perfected in our ways and our actions, brother and sister, when we live up to these attributes of kindly, forbearing, creator, and peace, we're trying to create an atmosphere of peace. We're trying to create an environment of security, one that's a perfect environment so that creativity can come out and not be challenged by envy and jealousy.
Right.
And we can be tolerant with one another at certain levels because you can't expect somebody that just walked in the door to be like some of us who've been around. And then some of us who just walked through the door are going to have to be Haleem. They're going to be tolerant to some of us who've been around and really still trying to find out why the heck we're here, or have just given up and we're just here. So these are going to be required. And lastly, to establish the government, remember, you know, we say in Isaiah that he would have a government upon his shoulders, and the increase of the government would know no end. It would have no end. It would be everlasting, the increase of it. So in order to do that, brothers and sisters, it's going to be one that's going to be constantly creating itself, constantly renewing itself. This universal government of peace, Master Father Muhammad is going to bring in. It's a whole new creation, because the truth of the matter is it comes out of 10,000 years of history that has not yet been written, or is being written, I should say, and being played out right now, because the time of the devil's civilization ended in 1914, and that began the 15,000th year of this 25,000 year cycle of history. This 10,000 part, this 15 to the 25,000 hasn't been written. It's been written by and being written by Master Father Muhammad, and part of it, the introductory of it, I believe, is the study guide by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the teaching Honorable Admiral laid the base, but the study guide comes after the minister's more than a vision-like experience. And I believe that he's going there. I know that he's going there to get the book that may be the further into the preface and the first chapter of this new writing. And the question is, are we new wineskin or old wineskin? If we're new wineskin, we'll be able to receive it without bursting at the seams. So the value of each attribute that we're going to study, these 99 attributes, the 3 that Brother Eric gave yesterday, the 3 that I'm giving today, and the remaining 93 of them, my dear brothers and sisters, it's necessary we delve deeper, deeper, and deeper. And you know how Brother Eric presented his, how I present mine. Don't let it hinder you or intimidate you. You do you. Allah shows you how to do it. And if you need any help or anything, surely we'll be here happy to help you to find sources and resources so you can express yourself and come on here and do great justice to these divine attributes of Almighty God Allah. May Allah bless you, brothers and sisters. Hope I haven't taken too much time, only 25 minutes, Brother Eric. And I love you more and more every day. And I pray Allah that He will bless you with a peaceful Ramadan, a successful Ramadan, and that you'll be renewed and come out of Ramadan and don't leave what you learned from Ramadan at the end of Ramadan, but let us implement it as be creative. Let us be tolerant and forbearing of one another, and let us, brothers and sisters, live and create an atmosphere of peace and be in peace. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak. Well, brothers and sisters, our goal was to go from 5 to 5:30 and really just delve into these attributes of God. You will find, so you can go and make prayer if you have not already made your Asr prayer, but our calls are designed for 30 minutes. When you look at what Allah says, thank you, brother, student regional minister, brother Dr. Al-Haleem.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Brothers and sisters, when you look at the 99 attributes or the attributes of God, and you find in the Holy Quran at the end of each or some of the verses where it says, and surely Allah is mighty wise. And when you read back up and read that verse, what Allah is saying, the attributes that come at the end are the attributes that are needed to fulfill what's being asked or what's being stated in that particular verse. When it's an indefinite article, like when it says Allah is mighty wise, that means that you and I can carry out those attributes. We are developing those attributes within ourselves and developing the attributes into the environment of what the verse is talking about. When you look at Surah 2, verse 260, Abraham asked Allah, "Oh Allah," he says to Allah, and when Abraham said, "My Lord, show me how you give life to the dead." And then Allah asked a question, "Do you believe?" He said, "Yes, that my heart may be at ease." And Allah gives him instructions. And then at the end of that verse, it says, "And surely Allah is mighty wise," meaning those attributes were indefinite, meaning a. But then there's some verses, brothers and sisters, that say, surely Allah is the mighty, is the wise. When you look at those verses, you clearly see that it is only Allah, the supreme being, that is in control of that verse, versus the other verse where Allah is allowing us to cultivate those ayats and cultivate those ayats or those attributes in ourselves. So this is why, brothers and sisters, we wanted and desired to go over the 99 attributes every day for the next now 28 days. This is day 2, and this is streaming Facebook Live, so you're able to go back, brothers and sisters, and view it, and you share it. Please also share it with us. We're only going to take, God willing, 30 minutes of your day so that you can go and make Asr prayer, because in Houston, Asr prayer in this part of Houston I'm in comes in at 4:58, so like 2 minutes right before we start the 99 attributes of Allah in 30 days. So that means I'm not going to make 4 rakahs in 2 minutes. So that means I got to wait on the back end and make my prayers. So we only want 30 minutes, brothers and sisters, of your time each day. So share this Facebook link with your followers on Facebook, and then inshallah come be back with us tomorrow, as we have another individual who will be sharing with us the 3 attributes we gave them. Again, thank you for tuning in to the 99 attributes of Allah in 30 days. And inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.